Hey guys, welcome back to New York Comicon on Newsrama.com. I'm Justin Tyler.
Hey, I'm Peter LePage.
And we are here talking to Mr. Mike Mignola. Thank you for joining us.
My pleasure.
It's an honor to have you, sir.
You guys at home, if you have a question, you can hit us on Twitter with the hashtag Ramacon. Ramacon.
So, first question, let's talk about Hellboy in Hell.
Sure.
Seems like a no-brainer, right? It's right in his name.
Tap the name.
It is, yeah, it's one of those titles where you went, yeah, that's going to work. Yeah.
How long ago were you like, let's send him to hell?
Well, I knew he would end up there eventually. I wasn't sure when he was going to get there. When I stepped away from drawing the book and Duncan Fegredo took over drawing, I knew I had this big, giant arc of story for Duncan. I wasn't quite sure that Hellboy was going to die at the end of that arc, but as, I got into it and started writing it, I realized, oh, wait, this guy's here, and this guy's here, and oh, it looks like all the pieces are in the right place. And at the same time, I started itching to get back to drawing the comic, and I thought, yeah, it looks perfect, timing-wise, to kill him off. And then I inherit a book that I've always wanted to draw, that really nobody else could draw, because my version of Hell, I could never explain to somebody else what it was supposed to look like. So, and I can guarantee there won't be any airplanes. It's entirely made of everything I want to draw.
No airplanes.
It's in a way, it's like my retirement book. This is the book I'm very happy to do forever, because it's entirely made out of just whatever the hell I want to draw.
So you're saying after this you're done, you're retiring?
Well, there's no, I guess, except, but it's not like a 4-issue miniseries and we're done.
Yeah.
It's an ongoing series.
Okay.
So everything I can imagine wanting to do in comics goes into Hellboy in Hell.
What is your version of hell? What makes it so...
A lot of teachers yelling at you?
No, none of that kind of stuff.
No airplanes.
It's old buildings. It's old buildings and certain kind of landscapes, and it's basically just a certain environment that I kind of discovered when I was drawing the Amazing Screw on Head book. I love old architecture. I love buildings, as long as they're crumbling and kind of leaning over. And I want to go back to doing what I was doing in the regular Hellboy comic for a while and have Hellboy just wander around the world. Hell is big enough, and my feeling is there's an Asian part of Hell and there's an Indian part of Hell, and I can go back to doing adaptations of various world folklore, except when I was doing it on Earth, if Hellboy was in Japan, Japan had to look like Japan.
Right.
If Hellboy goes into the vaguely Japanese corner of Hell, it'll have some Japanese-looking stuff, but I won't be tripping over. I don't know what a door looks like. I don't know what kind of this would be this, and so I have that luxury of being able to do my variation on the real world.
So by putting him in one location, Hell, you get much freedom to do sort of whatever you want.
Yeah, it is. It's one location, but it's huge.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of room for him to wander around and do stuff like that without worrying about, there being the real world, there being regular people in grocery stores and airplanes.
Mm-hmm. And then is this going to be, so you said it's an ongoing and it's going to be sort of more wandering, more freedom, so you're going to sort of relax on the overarching story for a bit and we're going to get some more like 2-issue series, like little arcs and whatnot as you go around?
Yeah, I'm going through a phase right now where every day I'm plotting more stories. And what I'm fighting against, all those stories want to cobble themselves together into some giant sweeping epic. And I don't want to do that. I want to do 1- and 2-issue stories. I want to do self-contained little comics. The first 4 issues settle him into Hell, so that is one story, and that's why those 4 issues will come out monthly. The plan then is to continue it coming out as often as I can put it out, as long as I'm putting it out the way I want. But anytime it's a 2-issue story or anytime it's a 3-issue story, then those will be monthly. But other than that, I can't guarantee how often the comic's going to come out.
Right.
And when does the Hellboy in Hell series start?
December.
Okay. Cool.
That's really exciting, especially he's been under so much pressure, Hellboy, for so long. It's been pretty intense what it's going on to. Maybe we're going to get into more of his other sides of his personality, a little bit more lighthearted, even though he's in Hell.
We do. A lot of what the first 4 issues are about is letting go of all the crap that he was dealing with for the last many years, and kind of coming to this thing of, you're dead, and there's some negatives to being in hell, and some wild stuff happens to hell because Hellboy shows up there, but for the most part, you're on your own time again. You just found out you were the King of England, and there's all this shit going on. And if you actually look at the BPRD book and see what's going on Earth, hell is actually kind of peaceful by comparison. I want him to relax, and I want him to be able to have some fun.
We're gonna get a crossover with the BPRD.
Not anytime in the foreseeable future. What you do see in some upcoming BPRD books after the first of the year, you will see some of the things that are going on in hell will impact what's going on in BPRD. But I still want to keep the books very, very separate. So I'm going to avoid ever doing that thing where, you can only read so much of the story in Hellboy, then you got to check in with BPRD. But it is a shared universe, so some of the things that go on over here will impact what goes on over here, but you don't need to read both books. Oh, cool. It's like, I always think of the old Marvel Universe stuff, where if you're reading Spider-Man and some character shows up, you might not know who that character is. But if you read Spider-Man and you read Daredevil, you go, oh, cool, that's that guy. Yeah. So I want to keep that, that shared universe feel. And the advantage I have with our stuff is there's John Arcudi and me and the editor Scott Alley. I mean, that's the entire, we've got our artists, but the guys that are making up the stories and keeping everything consistent, it's just 3 guys. Yeah. So it's much easier to do.
And with both ongoing, it seems like it's going to be a lot of just like getting the stories out there.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's great.